Hey guys, Jason here. Welcome to a video here on the second channel. And today, is gonna be like a reaction video. I'm gonna be doing a reaction video. I haven't done this before. It's about metal. It's a video about, a guy who's talking about metal. This might fit, people might say that this might fit my main channel more, because, it's music, but, I haven't ever tried this out before, and, this reaction kind of style of content. So I think it, fits the second channel more. You guys won't be seeing any visuals, because I haven't figured out, like, how to add sources on OBS, like, I still need to actually try to figure it out. So you guys will just be hearing the audio of the video, and hearing me talk about it. So, let me just make sure my desktop audio is actually on. So my desktop audio is on, and my mic is on. So let's actually get into the video. The video, the channel is called The Transylvanian, and I've already watched this video, so that's why I'm reacting to it, because there is a lot of stuff that he says in this video that I don't personally agree with, and that I think it's gatekeeping. So the video is called False Metalheads in Metalcore That Don't Know Who Sinister Is. Sinister is a death metal band, I guess. Don't get to talk about metal. So, let's start with this video.
What's up, guys? It's the Transylvanian, back with another video, and today I'm going to be exposing some false metal posers again. So
yeah, of course, they don't listen to real metal, which he'll talk about particularly three subgenres: black metal, death metal, and thrash. I personally don't like black metal. I don't mind some death metal, but I'm not a death metal expert. I wouldn't say I'm a death metal expert, but I know who the main bands are. And then thrash, yeah, I listen to some thrash. I know who Sodom is. I know who Anthrax is. Slayer, of course. A little bit of Exodus, Testament, of course. But again, I'm not a thrash expert. Sepultura, you can't forget about that one. That's one of my main favorite thrash bands. Metallica, of course. But yeah, he's going to mention some of these bands later in the video. Some I don't even know. So we'll get into that. Let's continue.
let's get into it. Gonna start this off with a little bit of story time. So I'm sure there's gonna be people crying in these comments. I'll tell you what, a couple of these other videos.
Yeah, because you're wrong.
All these people crying. This channel should be sponsored by antidepressants and tissues for all the damn.
I do gotta admit, I do like that joke. They should be sponsored by antidepressants and tissues. Even though, let me turn this speech off. Even though most of the time I think they're right and you're wrong, but still a good funny joke actually.
Crying that was going on in them comments. But anyways, now for the story time. So I was in a gas station. I had my Satanic Warmaster shirt on.
Yeah, I've heard of Satanic Warmaster. I haven't personally checked them out, but I know who they are.
And this dude behind the counter thought that it was a Ghost shirt. I was like, what?
I could see how a casual metal fan who doesn't know who that band is, doesn't know who Satanic Warmaster is, could see how it could be a Ghost shirt, but yeah.
Like, how do you think that something like Satanic Warmaster, dark and evil Finnish black metal, resembles Ghost?
I get that, because they do sound completely different. Even though that they have a dark image. But a casual fan's not going to know that. An expert metalhead would. But hello? Hey. I was recording. Uh-huh. Yep. Bring the other box in. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, I'm doing that right. I'll do it right now. Alright, bye. Alright, sorry guys, I forgot to pause the damn recording. I should have done that. I had to do something right quick. Anyway. What was I talking about? So, what part of the video were we at? Shoot, did I have my stupid headphones? Hold up. Oh, yeah, I turned off speech. I'm so stupid. This is kind of a live video, but not a live stream. Alright, we'll start right here. I'll refresh.
I was like, what? Like, how do you think that something like Satanic War Master, you know, dark and evil finished black metal, resembles Ghost? Like, let me tell you this. Ghost, Spirit Box, I wrestled there once. 3 of the gayest names in all of metal history. How can...
In all of metal history. Personally, I like Spirit Box. I wrestled a bear once, I haven't even heard of that fucking band. And then Ghost, they're too pop for me, kind of. Some of their metal stuff is just, I don't know, I don't really like their stuff. But, yeah, so, Anyway.
Can you think that that is like Satanic War Master, which is a
I get how that's true. Because they're two completely different bands.
true metal band. Always has been.
Yeah, true metal.
And always will be. So I said, no,
And he'll bring this up later in the video.
it's Satanic War Master, it's Finnish black metal. And he goes, oh, yeah, I never heard of those guys before. I thought maybe it was something like Ghost, you know, my daughter.
Yeah, of course, because maybe he's just a casual fan. He's not gonna know what something like Satanic War Master is.
And that stuff thinking, I've seen your daughter before. And she ain't into metal.
Yeah, she ain't into metal. Because she doesn't fit your image of what metal is?
Again, goth girl, this is her exact description. Goth, blue and purple hair. Seen her car before too. She's got all those rainbow pride stickers on her car. It's like,
Dude, I get that. I get how someone could be offended over that, but I mean, here's the thing. I don't believe in all that stuff either. I'm not gay. I don't believe in all the rainbow pride stuff, like Pride Month. I don't believe in all that stuff. That doesn't mean I don't like metalcore bands, like Spirit Box. And Ghost, I don't even know if you could count them metalcore. And then, of course, I Wrestle a Bear ones. I haven't heard of that band. But, yeah. That's all I have to say about that.
Power off.
I know you're not into metal. It's going to be too offensive for you. Especially half the
Too offensive.
stuff that I listen to. A lot of those NSBM bands and stuff. Those people literally have a heart attack because someone has a different opinion than they do. Because, oh, they're not being inclusive. It's not meant to be inclusive. Black metal is about hatred. It's about darkness and evil. And if you don't like it, let me open up that door for you.
And I don't. I don't like black metal. And it's not because, oh, well, they're not too inclusive. That's not my problem with it. I just personally don't like the sound. I just don't. I don't know. I just don't like it. And I feel like people that are actually trying to get into black metal can't get into black metal because, you know, you have people like you who are saying, oh, well, if you're into it and if you don't like it, then you're a poser. It's not meant to be inclusive. It's meant to stay underground. And you see this with the techno guys too, with all the 90s techno heads who don't listen to new electronic music. You see that with them too. It's the exact same thing. Oh, well, if you don't listen to real stuff, it needs to be underground. We don't want our stuff being mainstream. And I'll just say this from an artist's perspective. Yes, people are not gonna like underground stuff as much as they would like mainstream stuff. Mainstream music is different than underground music, and I will say that. But even if your music is underground, wouldn't you want to try to promote it? Wouldn't you want to try to get it out there? But I don't think that's going for your head right now. Well,
Send your ass out, and don't let that door hit you in the ass on the way out either. Out you go! If you don't like that kind of stuff. Because that's what you're getting with me, so...
yeah, and I get it. You have your opinion. I get it. You have your opinion. Sorry, I just got a message. I'm gonna check it real quick. Alright. I get it. You have your opinion. But that doesn't mean if I listen to something else like metalcore or deathcore, then I'm not truly into metal.
Hate to break it to you, but I'm always right when it comes to this stuff, particularly metal. Been wrong about other things, but when it comes to metal, I am always right. Never wrong.
Realistically, that's not possible. I know experts who make mistakes. So, you are not always right about metal. I'm not always right about metal, and I listen to metal too. I'm not always right about metal. Even if I am an expert, even if I know a lot about the stuff, doesn't mean I can be wrong. Doesn't mean I can't be wrong. There's some stuff that I may not be right about. So realistically, you can't say that you are always 100% right when it comes to metal. And I know that for a fact.
So let me break it down for you to prove that what I'm saying is factual. So when it comes to, and I'm going to assume that bands like Ghost, Spirit Box, and I Wrestled a Bear Once, which they should have called I Gobbled on a Cock Once.
Garbled on a cock once. I actually do like your jokes. They are funny, even though I disagree with your opinion. I do like your fucking jokes. They are pretty funny.
Okay, are metalcore bands. So
Ghost is not a metalcore band. They are a pop metal band, if you want to call it that.
Metalcore is another one of those genres that is not metal, just like
Yes it is.
new metal, just like deathcore.
Deathcore is metal, and that's the most metal out of all of them that you just mentioned.
You know, they can't even get the image right. A lot of these people, they dress like they're at a fashion show. Metal is no trends. How many times do I have to say that? Trendy stuff.
Well, that's why we have genres like metalcore and deathcore, so we can have those trendy stuff. If you don't like that trendy stuff, that's on you. But personally, I mean, metal's not... It doesn't have to be all about the image. It's also about the sound and the music. Doesn't have to be... and metal doesn't always have to be all dark.
Does not belong in metal.
Well, if it doesn't belong in metal, then what genre does it belong in? Because it sounds metal to me. What does it belong in? Modern rock?
Metal is not about that. It's about being the outsider, being different, being the one that the normies look at and they fear because they know that
The one that normies look at and they fear.
you are different. That is the definition of true metal. Imagine
The
seeing a guy
definition
like
of
werewolf
true
walking around with
metal.
his corpse paint on, all black clothes. Those normies would be terrified. Well, I'd be sitting there offering to...
You think... I mean, I get it. I mean, those normies, they don't know what something like death metal or black metal, what image that kind of involves, but... Do you think, like, they would just be that scared?
have a beer with the guy. Because, of course, I know that he is true metal.
You know who he is true metal.
To some sissy-ass shit. Like Spirit.
At least they're not listening to pop music. At least they're not listening to pop music. So we're talking, you say quote-unquote, sissy-ass shit. And we'll get into some of the bands he talks about later, but I just gotta say, like, people like what they like. They like Spirit Box. They like that stuff. Doesn't mean you have to like it, but that doesn't mean it's also not true metal. Because it is true metal. Now, I get it. I mean, there are some bands that try to, like, big bands, that, you know, they try to, like, for example, let's talk about Jelly Roll. He's a big artist. He's done country, he's done rap, but he's tried to do country with rock, and it just doesn't work. Now that's when we talk about posers. Now these metalcore bands, they're real fucking bands. They're not posers. And if you don't like it, well, I'll say like exactly like he said it. And if you don't like it, you don't have to listen to it. But that's what I listen to.
I know that for a fact that the almighty Werewolf would never listen to that stuff. I just
You know that for a fact.
But
100%.
the reason why this stuff is false metal, no,
Toby.
just because it's mainstream, I'm sure people are going to be saying that.
Yeah, because it is
It's
mainstream.
because these people have no knowledge.
They have no knowledge? What the fuck are you talking about? They have no knowledge.
Itself, it's a whole separate thing.
Then what is it if it's not metal?
If you were like at a metalcore concert or something, you asked any of these guys, I'm talking 50-60% of them, you ask these guys about a classic metal band. I'm going to use death metal bands for this example because
I like death metal.
most of those idiots don't know anything about black metal aside from Cradle.
Yeah, because that's not what I listen. That's not what I listen to. I don't listen to black metal. Don't like it. And yes, I do know who Cradle of Filth is. I've listened to a few songs, and they're actually really good. But I don't listen to any other black metal bands. I've checked out Mayhem, but that's about it. Other than that, no other black metal bands.
It was sold a hot topic. So when it comes to death metal, you could ask them, you know, what they think about Sinister or Dismember. Very well known.
Yep. Very well known. I don't even know who those bands are. Very well known. And I don't know who those bands are. They're not fucking well known.
Death metal bands, classic, legendary albums. If you're into metal music, you should know at least one album or two from those bands. I own stuff from both of them. I have Aggressive Measures from Sinister, and I have the demo collection CD from Dismember. It is true death metal.
True death metal.
But when it comes to the metalcore guys, the deathcore guys, a lot of them don't even know those bands are. They know Cannibal Corpse at best.
Well, everyone fucking knows Cannibal Corpse. Everyone who listens to metal knows who fucking Cannibal Corpse is, unless you are a really casual listener who just listens to butt rock and nu metal. Everyone else, they know who Cannibal Corpse is.
I mean, this is confirmed from that dude Garza on his podcast. And
I don't know who that dude is, but if you want some good people to check out, who are really into metalcore or deathcore or any of that stuff, just check out Nick Nocturnal. Damien, if you're watching, you'll know who I'm talking about. He's really good. He even makes his own music now, so go check the dude out. He likes stuff, you know, like Lorna Shore, Chelsea Grin, which he'll get into later. Bury Tomorrow, Fit for a King, Bleed from Within, Alpha Wolf, Throne. There's countless bands I can name that he's into, and that some of them I'm into. I don't listen to every metalcore band, but I listen to some of them. Because, you know, I don't just listen to metal, I listen to a lot of other genres, and that's where that's why I like to make my music in other genres too. Because I also listen to other genres, because I appreciate other genres of music. And dude, I've watched some of your other videos too. You're so under a rock, you don't even know how to pronounce, because I watched your celebrities getting into black metal video. I watched that video too. Dude, you are you're living so under a rock that you don't even know how to pronounce Billie Eilish? What the fuck do you say, Billie Eilish? That's not how you say Billie Eilish. Dude, I mean, I personally don't listen to Billie Eilish, but I know how to pronounce her fucking name. So, yeah.
Metalhead too. Suicide Silence, that sissy shit.
I love fucking Suicide
But,
Silence.
to his defense, he actually knows some real metal bands. He's at least heard of Deicide.
I've heard of Deicide. Haven't listened to a lot of the songs, but I've heard a couple songs from Deicide, and they're really good.
And stuff like that. But he said in that scene, there are many guys that he knows personally who wouldn't know who Deicide is.
And that's true. That's true. I don't know if Damien knows who
So how are
Deicide
you
is.
into metal if you don't know who that is? I'm not saying you have to like it, but you should at least acknowledge them. It's classic death metal. And how many of them do you think might not even know classic thrash metal bands? I guarantee you some of those bozos don't know who Sodom is.
Oh, yes, I know who Sodom is. Ancient Orange, classic album. Classic. True thrash metal, as you would say, true thrash metal.
Or Toxic Holocaust.
Toxic Holocaust, I personally haven't
Wouldn't
heard
surprise
of.
me. If you don't know who Deicide is, how are you going to know who they are? Please, please explain that.
Oh yeah, the creator, another classic thrash band, Testament, Corner. I know who some of these fucking bands are, and I listen to metalcore. Don't personally listen to those bands all the time, but I do know who they are. Alright, so if you decided to name some bands that were classic thrash and death metal bands, I'll give you some classic metalcore bands. How about that? I know you're never going to listen to them, but here they are. Trivium, Bleed From Within, August Burns Red, Bring Me the Horizon, Asking Alexandria, Of Mice and Men. Let's talk about deathcore now. Lorna Shore, Job for a Cowboy. Who else? Chelsea Grin, which we'll get into. Infant Annihilator, if you want to get technical and fast. Dude, Infant Annihilator is like the most extreme name in deathcore that I've heard of, and they are like one of the most extreme bands. So, you can't tell me that at least some of that shit is fucking extreme. And just to name some gent bands, I don't even know if you know what fucking gent is. Classic Meshuggah, Periphery, even like gent / metalcore bands like Veil of Maya. I don't even know if you know who those bands are. You should at least know who Meshuggah is. Classic gent. Classic progressive metal. I personally love Meshuggah. One of my favorite, well, I shouldn't say they're one of my favorite bands, but in that gent genre, yes. I love gent. One of my favorite genres. But yeah, you decided to name bands. I'll name some bands that you probably haven't heard of. Let's continue.
But also, like, the metalcore stuff is so wimpy. I know.
Wimpy. Well, then let's talk about deathcore stuff. Metalcore. All I gotta say is at least metalcore is more extreme than something like nu metal or hard rock.
Like punk bands that are harder than that. Some of those RAC bands that I've showed off.
Oh yeah, you want to talk about punk bands? Yeah, I mean they do go pretty fucking hard, but you're probably talking about older punk bands that are not even around. You want to talk about newer kind of metalcore stuff, but also kind of, hardcore stuff? Let's talk about Code Orange or Drained. Those are good fucking punk bands right there. Hardcore punk.
Like the Powden Reesty, Bound for Glory. That stuff isn't metal, but it's 10 times harder than metal.
But you also say metalcore is not metal, so then what is metalcore?
Or metalcore is like the Bud Light of extreme music, and it's not even extreme music.
The Bud Light of extreme music. It's not even extreme music. I get that point. I mean, metalcore is not extreme. It's not as extreme as something like death metal or black metal that you're talking about, but still kind of extreme.
I can't even consider it that.
It's definitely more extreme than something like pop. It's definitely more extreme than something like electronic music. So I do have to say that.
It's the Bud Light of metal. Stuff like black metal, war metal, that's your fine wine and liquor section of metal music. It's the best of the best. It's the truth. And it's also the most extreme. You think those guys are going to be sitting around listening to Blasphemy, Archgoat, Conqueror, Revenge?
I don't know who any of those bands are, but I'll gladly check them out. I will gladly check them out. Like, you should check out bands like Trivium. Really fucking good. One of my favorite bands. A really technical, really good metalcore band. That you could even call true metal if you wanted to. Because they don't just write in metalcore, they've written progressive stuff, they've done a little bit of thrash. Check them out, man.
They never even heard of that stuff. And if they did hear it, they wouldn't like it. Because it's too rough
I wouldn't like it because it's too
and tough.
rough and tough. Now tell me how that works. Yes, I personally don't like black metal. And I'll tell you that. I will tell you, I personally don't like black metal. But I'll gladly check out the band you mentioned. You never know. It might get me into black metal. And I've never gotten into black metal before. You never know.
You wouldn't be able to handle it. False metal. They're not
False
into the real
metal.
stuff. They don't like the extreme stuff. They like the wimpy, watered down,
Wimpy,
inclusive,
watered down,
mainstream
inclusive,
stuff.
mainstream stuff. Half of those bands that you mentioned, the fucking 80s and 90s bands. Metal has moved on from them. And you need to acknowledge that.
And what's funny is, a lot of those guys are the same ones. They cry about black metal. Oh, you got all these fascists and Klansmen in here in black metal. But they'll defend a band like Pantera. That dude said the N-word multiple times to black people.
Alright, he said the N-word multiple times. Now, I don't know if that's actually true. I haven't seen evidence of that. But if that's the case, that's on him.
So he gets a pass, and someone like Goat Moon and Der Stürmer, they don't. Even though they've most likely not said it to someone's face, it's maybe in their lyrics. And
Maybe in their lyrics. Again, I haven't checked out Goat Moon, but I will check them out. Just like you probably won't check out my metalcore bands that I just mentioned.
comes to stuff like that, I've never heard that from either of them. They're more just about being proud to be Europeans, so stop being a wimp. Let the guys do what they want. They're allowed to have
Stop being a wimp.
a different opinion than you, so quit that damn crying, or I'm going to have to start sending out tissues to all of you guys, because there's so much of it. So much crying for something that is irrelevant, that doesn't apply to you, it's not part of your scene, because you don't listen to metal, you're not into real metal. You don't
Not part of my scene. Yeah, I mean, I do know guys that personally wouldn't check out that stuff. Yes, but I personally would. I would personally check it out. Because I'm open to whatever. If you know me, you know I think outside the box. You know I like to check out new music, new stuff. So, just because I listen to metalcore doesn't mean I'm going to stay boxed in and not check out the stuff that you just mentioned, like Goat Moon, or what was the other one? Sinister, or Revenge. Doesn't mean I'm boxed in. But you sure think so. Because you're just a little gatekeeper that, oh, if it's not part of that scene, well, you're not listening to it because you wouldn't like it because it's not true metal.
Sinister is, don't even make a comment on this page. Don't comment on this channel if you don't know these 3 bands. Sinister, Goat Moon, Blasphemy. If you don't know who those are, save yourself the comment.
Yeah, and to you, those are classic fucking bands. But to everyone else, no one knows who they are. So of course people are not gonna know who they are.
Please. Because you're gonna say something stupid, and I'm most likely...
And you know that for a fact. If I were to leave a comment on this video right now saying that I don't know who Sinister is and talking about metalcore, do you know that I'm going to say something stupid? For a fact, you know that.
I'm gonna have to roast you in the next video because that's the way I do it.
Roast me in the next video. Yeah.
And, oh, almost forgot to mention another extremely gay band name, this is deathcore, is that Chelsea Grin. Like, what is that?
A fucking good ass band. That's what that is. Nick, I know, and I know you like that band. You like the band too. Nick Nocturnal. Go check Nick Nocturnal out. He's fucking cool, dude. Unlike you, who just wants to cry because, oh, well, it's just posers. They're not listening to real metal. Dude, and I gotta admit, I watch guys on YouTube, who like the stuff that you like, but they're willing to check out new stuff. Like, most of the stuff that they do listen to is, like, past stuff, like, you know, like Sodom, or Testament, or, just naming thrash bands, because that's what a lot of the stuff they listen to is. But they're willing to check out new metalcore stuff, and they collect vinyl. They collect that older stuff, but they are willing to check out some new metalcore stuff. I mean, even if they don't like it, they will at least check it out. Just like I will check out the bands that you mentioned, even if I don't like them. I'll say that I checked them out. But yeah, Chelsea Grin is a good ass band. Fucking good.
That to me screams poser.
Screams it.
I see an interview with that vocalist. What's his name? Ramos or something?
Will Ramos. Yeah. I don't even... Have you seen that video? Or have you seen reactions to the Hellfire by Lorna Shore? A good-ass song. And you know why it's such a good song? Because of that breakdown. And you want to not call that extreme? That's extreme. May not be extreme to your standards, but definitely extreme to a normal person listening to that song. Or even, you know, new people that have just found... I remember when I first found that song, when it, like, not like when it first came out, but like, probably like 6 months after it came out. It was like late 2021, early 2022. I first heard that breakdown, and I was like, what the fuck? Just the screaming, and then the Infinite Annihilator style. I can't do it, but, you know, like the Infinite Annihilator style vocals on there, and then, yeah. And to you, that's not metal? What world are you in? What the fuck? I know what real metal is.
Biggest poser I've ever seen in my life.
Biggest poser you've ever seen in your life. And you know that for a fact.
These dudes on there wearing like a pink striped sweater, got these skinny, like light blue pants on, curly white shoes. It's like, dude,
Because that's what he
you
wants
might
to
as well
wear.
hit the Pride convention, brother.
Hit the Pride convention. Now, I don't know personally if he's gay or not, but I do know that people can wear whatever they want, and I'm not fucking judging them.
You're not hanging out with the real men.
The
Hang
real
out with
men.
The wimps.
The
That's where
wimps.
you belong.
That's who I'm hanging out with. It's the wimps. Not the real metal men. The wimps. The posers. And that's where I belong, I guess.
That's the truth. And when it comes to image, if you're in a metal band, gotta throw this little dress code tip out there. If you're in a metal band, dude, put black clothes on. Or at very least
Black
a
clothes.
band shirt of a true metal band.
Of a true metal
They're not
band.
hard to find. And if you don't have any band shirts, you're just starting out, you're playing at some local bar down the road, alright, get a pair of black jeans, plain black t-shirt.
Alright, but I'm not in a metal band. I am just a solo musician who does, all different genres, but I get where they're coming from. But what about if they don't want to be true metal? What about if they want to be metalcore or deathcore? That true metal image is not going to fit that. And you know that.
Walmart, you're already looking 10 times more metal than that homo. 2, if you're going to be wearing like necklaces or anything like that, gotta be something metal related. I mean, I'm not even in a band and I know that. I just understand the image. I understand the true metal spirit. Just like
True
today.
metal spirit.
Got the goat's head pentagram on. It's even got some nice little red gemstones in there. Take a look at that sick shit. That's the sick shit. You know what I'm saying? What these guys wear is the wimp shit.
Yeah, it's all fucking wimps because they don't have a fucking pentagram or like... some of the guys don't want to dress like that. Because they're not in a fucking black metal band or death metal band. It's not the true image. It's... if they're in a metalcore band, they're dressing like they're in metalcore or in gent. I don't know what you have against it. I think it's still true metal because metal can... Alright. Metal is one genre. Metal is your main genre. You have all different subgenres that have different kinds of sounds, different kinds of images, different kinds of ways they dress. And everyone's different. So, if we're talking like just 3 different subgenres, I guess, thrash, death, metal, and black metal, Tony! You can't say that just based off of those 3 subgenres of metal that it is true metal. There are other subgenres that I think is true metal, like metalcore, like deathcore, like, yeah, I know hardcore, that's not metal, but it's still true metal. Even though it's melodic, even though it's mainstream, even though it's probably not dark. Metal doesn't just have to be dark. Dude, I personally don't like this stuff either, but let's talk about new sounds that people are doing in the extreme genres of music. Let's talk about like new doom metal or death metal that's that's doing like atmospheric stuff on the music. Let's talk about Toby! Shut up. Let's talk about... Can't record a fucking video. Toby! Where was I at? Anyway, let's talk about how you know, there's these extreme death metal atmospheric bands that are actually kind of good. I mean, I haven't really checked a lot of them out. But some of them are not even dark. Metal doesn't have to just be dark and aggressive. It's not all about that. It's not just about being dark and being aggressive. Yes, there are subgenres that focus on that, like black metal, death metal, war metal, thrash metal. But it's not all about that. There's meant to be multiple different genres. And it's the same thing if you want to talk about electronic music. Electronic dance music is the main genre. You have subgenres that are more melodic, like EDM, house, and then you have stuff that's more around like techno. It's a genre filled with different subgenres that people like. So you can't be saying that it's has to be dark. And if I don't listen to the dark stuff, I'm just a fucking wimp.
The gold chains, the girly looking clothes. Well, I mean,
Girly
metal
look.
is an overly masculine style of music, especially when you're into the extreme shit. The dark and evil black metal, the Christ-crushing war metal. That's the way it's meant to be. And same with death metal, brutal death metal.
Brutal death metal. If you want some good death metal stuff, why don't you go check out like a tech death band? Do you even know what tech death is? I don't even know if you know that, like, because you're into these fucking old ass bands that some of them don't even make albums anymore. It's like, check out some new shit. It's time to move on. Get with the program.
Do you see Corpse Grinder get up on stage wearing a pink t-shirt and white Air Force Ones? Hell no. They drive...
But it's a different style of music. It's a different style of music. And that's why the image is different. Because it's a different subgenre of metal.
him off that stage if they saw that. They'd be like, this dude gotta go. Guaranteed. But it's okay in that other scene, it's okay in that deathcore metalcore scene. Because they're not true metal. But
because they're not true metal. Just because it's dark or not dark enough doesn't mean it's not true metal. I've been saying this throughout this whole video. That doesn't mean that it's not true metal. Because, you know, it's just a different world. It's a different band. If we're comparing Cannibal Corpse to something like Killswitch Engage, or Spirit Box even, that you mentioned. Toby! Fuck. If you compare that to something like Spirit Box or Killswitch Engage, it's a fucking different world. But that doesn't mean it's not true metal. That doesn't mean it's false metal.
anyways, hope you enjoyed and I'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, I'll see you in the next one, bitch. I don't know if I'm going to watch the next one. But, yeah, so a lot of points I didn't agree with there. Lots of them. Because, yeah, so, I don't know. I will go check out the bands you mentioned, though. But you should also go check out some of the stuff I talked about in this video. Like some of the gent bands. Which I don't even know if you know what fucking gent is. First off. Let's actually go on his channel. Because I want to see what... I watched some... I watched some of his videos. Alright, let's actually... I haven't checked out his actual channel. See what his description is. Has 32 videos. 328 subs. So a pretty small channel. 32 videos. All it says is like and subscribe and thumbs up. What the fuck? You don't even... That's not a good subscription for your... good description for your channel, man. You at least need to say what you were talking about. That just proves that you're a gatekeeper, because you don't admit it. Alright, let's see what the videos are. Black metal's most controversial topic of mine supported. And then false metalheads and metalcore don't really sinister. And then he also posts, I guess, music. He posted a song. Black. Yeah, and I watched this one. But all his videos are about black metal. And then another song. Another song. New metal fanboys are a definition of beta males. I didn't watch this one. I listen to new metal. I like stuff like that. I like Linkin Park. I like Slipknot. I like stuff like that. So, it's all that stuff is what got me into metal. Another song. Black metal is being infiltrated. I watched this one. All metalhead schools on the topic of black metal. All your videos are about fucking black metal. You need to at least explore some different genres of stuff, you know. I'll check once I finish recording. I'll check out some of your songs, or some of the songs from these bands that he posts. See if I can actually get into them. But I don't know. I don't know. Well, I think I rambled on long enough. This video is already really long, probably. There's been distractions, and then I had to, do something right quick, and then I forgot to stop the recording. I'll probably edit that out. I don't know, but yeah, it was long video. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.